Today's webinar is Tech for Good, 8 platforms to maximize your impact. And so we have 8 wonderful leaders that are gonna, go through their different tech platforms and support tools for you today. And I'm gonna go ahead and give a little bit of an intro for each of these folks. So first on here is Dong. He is the CEO and co-founder of Civic Champs. You can see him waving in the Zoom chat. Civic Champs is a powerful volunteer management platform with a mission to create a seamless experience for nonprofits of all sizes to track, manage, and engage volunteers with accuracy and ease. You'll hear from him in a little bit. Next, I'd like to welcome Steve. Steve has 20 plus years of startup experience in finance, digital marketing, and analytics, and is currently the CEO and co-founder of Donate Stock, a platform that helps nonprofits diversify and grow funding by making stock gifting easy and accessible for nonprofits and higher ed institutions. Great. Next, I have Emily here. Emily has 10 years of financial impact, nonprofit, and social enterprise leadership experience and is the CEO and founder of Grapevine, which is the only platform dedicated to giving circles where people come together, pool their donations, and amplify their impact. Great. And then I have Spencer here. Spencer is a 2-time founder and has an affinity for social impact. In 2020, alongside his brothers, he co-founded Life Legacy, a digital estate planning platform that is expanding affordable access to estate planning and philanthropy to over 100 million middle-income Americans. Thanks, Spencer, for being here. Next, we have Chris here in the bottom left corner. Chris spent 8 years in the Army traveling around the world and learning about the power of storytelling as a tool to connect with people across many cultures, generations, and socioeconomic backgrounds. He is the founder and CEO of Memory Fox, a platform that helps nonprofit marketers collect, organize, and share powerful stories sourced directly from their community of donors, volunteers, staff, board members, and mission beneficiaries. Great. And then we have Griff here from Momentum. Griff is an experienced growth marketer focused on both inbound and outbound techniques. He is currently the growth and product advisor at Momentum, a nonprofit software company that enables fundraisers to streamline workflows, strengthen relationships with donors, and transform donation experiences. And then we have Jeff here from StoryRaise. Jeff has a broad experience in creative strategy, visual design, user experience design, branding, search engine optimization, and social media marketing. He is the co-founder and CMO of StoryRaise, a creative technology company built to help nonprofits create digital annual reports, campaigns, and a brand identity. And last but not least, we have Sherry. Sherry has worked alongside foundation, nonprofit, and government leaders for 20 plus years to help them use data to solve complex social problems and increase revenue. She's the founder and CEO of Sure Impact, a powerful case management and outcomes reporting software for the social good ecosystem. So that is all 8 of our presenters today. All of these folks are going to give you about 5 minutes, a pitch, so to speak, of their different organizations, companies, and the impact tools that they've created. But before we get into that, we would love to poll all of you here to learn a little bit more about you. And so my colleague Chloe is going to put a poll in the chat. And I'll, of course, give a little bit more of the results here for everybody to learn from. We'll give it a couple more. Oh, there we go. Great. I'll give it maybe 30 more seconds here. Awesome. It looks like we've got folks who are, have heard of these different tools we're going to talk about today. Looks like we've got folks that know about every one of these here. Our second question was, how many volunteers do you have at your nonprofit? It looks like most that are answering right now have about 0 to 10 volunteers. We've got a couple that have over 1,000. Looks like that median now is around that 11 to 50. And how many donors have you had at your nonprofit this year? We're kind of all over the place. Looks like we have a couple folks in that 0 to 10, a couple in that 11 to 50. But actually, it looks like the winning poll here is that 200 to 500 range for donors that are supporting your nonprofit. That's awesome. Great. Yeah. And it looks like we have folks, like I said, that know of all of our tools today. So that's really positive to hear that, all of you guys have heard of all of our different tools. All right, I'm gonna end the poll now, but great to get that information from you all. And we'll keep moving forward. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna go on and have Sherry share our first presentation. And so Sherry, whenever you're ready, you can get started.
Here.
Oh, sorry, Sherry, you are muted.
Oh,
Okay, how is that?
There you go. There you
No
go. It
way,
all looks
that's
great.
not how I wanted to start off, but anyway, so grateful to be here with you all today to talk about all these amazing, impactful tools designed exactly for the nonprofits that you're running. So one of the problems that Sure Impact is solving for is that we have learned that 75% of nonprofits report missing out on critical funding because funders are asking for demonstrated impact and outcomes data, and they don't have it. However, 100% of our Sure Impact users have the data they need to raise more money and scale impact. So many of you likely are in the manual approach to fundraising when it comes to outcomes and impact management. So you may have an opportunity, whether that's with a donor or a grant opportunity, and the funder is asking for, we need to see measurable outcomes and results in order to win this grant. So you have to go somewhere in your organization to your program staff. You as the CEO may have to spend hours on a weekend gathering all that data. And then if you have that data, you can then share it and you'll get the funding. If you still win the grant, even though you don't have the data, now you're going to scramble to figure out how are you going to measure and report back to those funders. Sure Impact changes this process significantly. So now when you have an opportunity, you are able to log into your Sure Impact account. Then you look at your outputs and outcomes in your Sure Impact Analytics. So you have everything you need right there at your fingertips. You submit the grant, you write the pitch, you write the LOI. And if you win it, you just continue to do what you've always done. And you can even give your funders a Sure Impact license, and the data will seamlessly share up to your funder. So no more need for time-consuming and busy grant reporting. So that's a little bit about the problems that Sure Impact solves. But what are we? So we are a cloud-based impact management platform that is providing nonprofits real-time insights. So we do act as a case management platform where your team is able to track what they do, how well they do it, and how people are better off. And then all of that data is seamlessly rolled up in real time. So your board members, executive leadership teams, grant writers, fundraisers have all the insights they need to better tell your story using data. There's a lot we could dive in today related to impact management and measurement and how we do what we do. So I invite you to download the Ultimate Guide to Impact Measurement. It outlines what nonprofits should be thinking about in terms of what data you should be collecting and how leveraging technology makes this easy and seamless within your organization. Thank you so much, Emma, for the opportunity to talk a little more about impact measurement.
No, and thank you so much, Sherry. For folks, interested in this resource, I didn't mention this in the beginning, but we are recording this presentation. And so we will send this out to everyone. If you don't have your phone out right now or, fastly taking notes, we will pass this off to you all. But Sherry, thank you so much for your time. And next, we're going to go on to Jeff, and he'll share a little bit more about his organization.
Great, thank you. Okay, are you seeing my screen?
It is loading, but it's coming.
Okay, let me try one more thing.
Okay.
Hey, now you see my screen.
Looks great.
Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Romm. I am in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm the co-founder and CMO of StoryRaise. My background, I started my career in nonprofit marketing. So I was in the trenches, as most of you are. And I also started my own creative agency twice. And we were acquired 2 years ago. And that's when I started getting into the technology space and co-founded StoryRaise with my partner, Josh Kligman, who's also on the call. And finally, I'm a part of this new Blackbaud social good startup cohort. I'm very excited for that. I know some of the other co-founders on the call are also a part of that. So let me tell you a little bit about StoryRaise and what we do. So we are a platform that allows you to create stunning digital reports, such as annual reports and impact reports, and campaigns, and with the goal of inspiring donors to give more, to engage more, and do more. So how do we do that? We have a tool that allows you to build a report. Just here's basically a snapshot of our tool. It's all WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. It's drag and drop. You can build out a web-based digital report. You can also convert it to a PDF with a click. So for those who still have donors who want PDFs, we do allow for that. And what's nice about StoryRaise is that it's not a flat document. It allows you to embed video, you can embed social media, you can embed your donation application right into the tool itself. So when you send out the impact report to donors via email or text or whatever other platforms you're using, they can engage with the tool. So it's more of an experience rather than a flat report. And one of the other things that we launched in the past year is something called StoryRaise Precision. And this allows you to personalize and customize reports for each and every donor. So if you have a list of 50, 100, 1,000, 5,000, 50,000 donors, you can put it into our system, or we can connect with your CRM, and it will allow you each person to get the same report, but it's personalized for them. So as you can see here in this example, it can have whatever customization you want. So it could be just their name, the amount they gave. It could be the issues they care about, the programs they support. So each person feels that the report is special for them. And we know how much donors want to get that time and attention, that the impact that they're making is a result of their giving. So Precision allows you to do that. That's a kind of an added product that we've created, and it's being used by a lot of universities and other nonprofits that want to have that intimate engagement with their donors. And finally, we are in the process of launching our beta of StoryRaise. We're calling StoryRaise Magic. It's basically a way for you to build email and social media campaigns using our platform. So you put in some information about your nonprofit, about the cause that you want to focus on, and our tool will build out the social media content, strategy, email content, whatever it is that you want to create for whatever the campaign is, and we give you the output that you can then bring into any of your social media platforms. So if you're interested in that, reach out, and we can put you on our waiting list, and you can get a sneak peek of what we're doing. And finally, this is how you can reach out to us. You can go to storyraise.com, learn more about our program, learn more about our products. You can schedule, it's very easy. You can schedule, as you see on the screen, time for a free trial or for a conversation with someone from our team. You can get a demo, and we're offering a special 10% discount for anyone who's on this webinar today. You could just mention Lovelist, and we'd love to talk to you. And Josh and I, we're a very hands-on company, very nimble. So if you all want to have a conversation with one of us, we'd be happy to. Our goal is to help give you the tools that you need to create real impact and to engage your donors. So feel free to reach out to us. So thank you. Thanks for having us here today, and it's a pleasure to be here with this incredible group of people. I know all of them, and they're really top notch. So thanks again.
No, yeah. Thank you, Jeff, for sharing a little bit more about Story Raise and, the exciting work that you guys are doing and growing to do. That's really exciting. But great. All right. Well, next we will have Griff share a little bit more about Momentum.
Howdy, folks. Yes, I am Griff. I run growth here at Momentum. By background, we grew out of academic research. We were behavioral psychologists who were actually studying philanthropy and giving and what makes people want to give. And we sort of the company grew out of a research study that we ran where we actually interviewed 450 frontline fundraisers around the country, everybody from like VPs of development and advancement at R1 universities down to small local nonprofits and everything in between. This is what our calendars looked like during that period. You should never, ever, ever try to interview 450 fundraisers. That's it's just a lot, right? It was completely overwhelming for the team, but we learned so much, and it was just an absolutely fabulous experience. What Momentum basically does now is we take all of the data and all of the power of all of your resources, and then we build machine learning and AI, artificial intelligence algorithms on top of that to help you better engage with your donors, better steward your donors, that sort of thing. So we're really focused on helping nonprofits drive more dollars into their accounts, into their fundraising programs so that they can, basically go and achieve their missions more easily. So we start with your CRM, then we layer on top of that basically your email and communication history as well as any third-party data. So, you can do wealth screening, you can do blog posts or RSS feeds or whatever it is, whatever there may be. And then we put together basically for every one of our customers 3 core algorithms or models that we basically build. The first model is really just answering the question of who to contact. When we did that big research study, one of the biggest things that we found was fundraisers would wake up and they would struggle with who is the highest priority donor for me to be getting in touch with today, right? Like what is the person who I should be reaching out to? So we've built an entire model just to answer that question for you, that at any given point, the highest priority person who you should be talking to is this individual donor, right? And we prioritize them for you. We can go through and we can target certain segments. So if you have like LIBUNs that you want to be reaching out to or anything like that, we can subset it out and target the model at any subset of the database that you may have. The second algorithm that we build is when to be getting in touch with folks. So there's a really simple version of this, which is just like, hey, it's one of your donors' birthdays. You should reach out and get in touch with them. But we've gotten much more sophisticated with that. So we have one client who does a lot of planned gifts. And for them, basically, like if my wife left a bequest to a given organization, every year on the date of her passing, her surviving spouse, would get a note from one of the fundraisers on the team that just says, hey, Griff, we're thinking of you today and your wife on this, the date of her passing. It's fabulous, fabulous stewardship, and it's actually not the most challenging thing to build for. But then we can even do stuff where we model future expected gift dates and targeted giving and all of that to make sure that you're engaging the donors at the right time in the right place. And then lastly, what to say. So I saw a few people who mentioned ChatGPT as their favorite AI tool in the chat. We help you write drafts and we will prompt you with a draft. We have the AI basically write in each individual fundraiser's tone of voice. So it sounds like you, it feels like you, but it will also write to sort of the specific donor. So it will look and see, hey, this donor has a history of being sort of more formal, longer-winded. It will write a longer, more formal email to them versus if it was writing me a note, it would like omit punctuation entirely, right? And it can kind of pick up on all of that nuance and write something valuable for you. That is the brief overview on us. GiveMomentum.com. Please get in touch. You can email me directly. I'll just put my email straight into the chat. And I would love to chat with any of you and see if anybody's interested in using AI in a way that's a little bit more sophisticated and targeted towards your fundraising. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Griff. We have someone actually in the comments here. LaShonda, she said, engagement and stewardship is key for successful donor relations. And so definitely hear the kind of story that you guys are building, Griff, and appreciate the work that you're doing. All right, next we will pass it over to Chris, and he'll tell us a little bit more about MemoryFox. You can go for it, Chris.
Cool. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Cool. All right, so MemoryFox is built around one simple question. If someone asks you, what is your mission, can you show them? Certainly, you'll want to provide impact data, activating like the logical logos part of the brain, but you also need to activate the parts of the brain for trust and sympathy, the ethos and the pathos, and that's where you need stories. Stories and impact storytelling content are the most powerful way to influence donors, board members, prospective volunteers, anybody. I could talk about storytelling all day. I'm definitely a geek for it. But I think most of us have heard it many times. We need more impact content. We need more stories. We need more testimonials, more. And it's a never-ending, exhausting task for nonprofits trying to compete in this modern attention economy. And that's why hundreds of nonprofits, large and small, use MemoryFox to tell great stories about their mission. Our easy platform makes it a breeze to collect multimedia content and stories from your entire community, regardless of their comfort with technology. Organize and tag all that content on the cloud, and then design that content and share it with the world. It's sort of an end-to-end workflow for your storytelling needs, and it's a total game changer for your marketing and fundraising teams. We are integrated with Canva, so you can pull your MemoryFox content in and design some truly amazing final products. Eventually, we'll be integrated with StoryRaise here today, and hopefully everyone else too at some point, because everybody loves stories, right? I mean, it's intimate to who we are as humans. We're also obsessed with the ethics around mission-based storytelling. So we've built these like unique ways to collect and track consent. And we even provide the ability for storytellers to notify that they want to withdraw consent if they no longer feel comfortable with their story remaining public, which I think is really unique. Even the very act of letting people record stories on their own allows them to do it in a way that fits their schedule and doesn't involve putting someone in makeup in front of a bunch of cameras. That's a lot of pressure to perform, and I think is pretty unethical. And then finally, in terms of pricing, we know that every organization, large and small, does need to tell stories. It's what we do. So we actually customize the price to the size of the organization. So that'll come out of the meeting that we do when we get together for the first time. And so like I said, we're honored that hundreds of nonprofits trust us as the platform to facilitate their storytelling. We've had great success with organizations like Manchester University, who collect and share content from students, staff, and alumni, and then they share it with students, staff, and alumni in their community. It's a great virtuous circle of happiness with community-generated content. Wreaths Across America, which is a veteran, is pretty cool for me. They've collected over 6,000 pieces of content from thousands of wreath-laying ceremonies across the U.S. So we know the platform is secure, organized, and it's efficient enough to be able to handle that volume of content, which is pretty impressive. And one of the cool things has been watching all the creative share templates that people create. And you can see one right here. Community Foundation of Martin St. Lucie creates walls of love for contributors to their scholar program, kind of similar to Humans in New York, if you ever heard of that, except with video. Beautiful, powerful, simple, easy, really nice stuff to dazzle your donors. So I'll kind of close with this because a picture's where a video's worth 1,000 words. Started early.
I love that they help me and they motivate me and push me up when I'm feeling down and I stop or I'm say I can't do it. They always say I can't, but I always say I can, but they always say I can do it. Never say you can't. So I love that they motivate me all the time. And we're strong, fit kids.
Right, beautiful. And as a parent, I think that tugs on all of our heartstrings. That's impact, right? That's beautiful content that like for-profits pay millions of dollars every year to try to replicate. And we all have it going on in our backyards as our mission is going on. So our goal is to help you gather that content and leverage it because that's your special power, right? That's how you stand out in the modern attention economy. And they submitted it as a part of a grant application and they got the grant. So yeah, thank you all for your time. Feel free to set a meeting with one of our storytelling experts. They'll come up with a custom pricing plan and a plan for success as well, because this is sort of new for a lot of people. And also check out our 2023 Ethical Storytelling Report. There's a lot of great information about consent and ethics in modern nonprofit marketing and fundraising. So yeah, thank you all for your time.
Yeah, no, thank you, Chris. This was awesome to see more of MemoryFox. I love that you included that video. Shares, of course, just how impactful the kind of work you're doing is to organize folks in the nonprofit space. All right, I am going to share screen here, and we will have Spencer go next. and talk more about Life Legacy. Welcome, Spencer.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. I'm Spencer Cassidy, co-founder and CEO of Life Legacy. It's great to be here today. As Emma mentioned at the beginning, I founded Life Legacy with my brothers in 2020. That was after a career at Google and a successful exit of my first startup. Life Legacy was inspired by personal loss, but now we're on a mission to transform how we think about plan giving. So we've already partnered with over 200 nonprofits, securing over 100 million in pledge plan gifts. And I'm thrilled to share with you how you can unlock this potential too. So we can go to the next slide. So here's our daily reality check. 84 trillion will change hands across generations by 2045. While much of this wealth will naturally go to loved ones, a significant portion will get missed without strategic intervention. And this is where, as nonprofit leaders, we step in. So we're positioned at this critical juncture of the great wealth transfer to secure more plan gifts. So my question today is simple to all of you. How prepared is your organization to capture a slice of this opportunity? And as we stand on that brink of the great wealth transfer, it's crucial to recognize that many nonprofits aren't fully prepared. Every year, billions of dollars in potential plan gifts slip through. That's not just money lost. It's also a lost opportunity to making a lasting impact. And if we take a moment to really think about the donors of our donor base, take a moment and consider how many donors have passed in the last 5 years, and then consider who we might lose in the next 5 years, and how much annual giving could potentially vanish with them. So if you start thinking about that, there's a lot of annual giving lost without encouraging or facilitating plan gifts. And the issue isn't that nonprofits don't care about securing plan gifts. The challenge has been the complexity and the lack of easy avenues for donors to leave a legacy. And similarly, for nonprofits to facilitate such a gift. So again, with that great wealth transfer, it's time to equip your organization with the tools to preserve and boost its future funding. One key call out to really highlight is 90% of plan gifts are secured through wills. And that's despite 70% of Americans not having an estate plan. Plan gifts still generated $46 billion in 2022. So this is almost a wake-up call and a major opportunity for all of us in the room that implementing a strong plan giving program isn't just an option, it's a critical component to our fundraising strategies. With Life Legacy, our giving suite is revolutionizing plan giving. So it's making it straightforward for donors and effortless for nonprofits. Our comprehensive toolkit includes a last will and testament, a gift intention form, qualified charitable distribution tool, and then we also have DAF, stock, crypto as a complementary giving button that's included in our giving in our donor dashboard. And then one of the best features of all with this is our platform and tools integrate with major CRMs like Blackbaud, Little Green Light, Virtuous, automatically syncing with your existing system. So again, Life Legacy is simplifying the complexity that sometimes comes with plan giving to ensure that this is seamless and not just possible, but powerful for your organization. We believe in, the excellence in plan giving shouldn't come with an over-the-top price tag. Our giving suite is the most affordable solution on the market, offering unmatched customization. We're the only platform that provides a comprehensive range of plan giving tools, all fully customizable and white labeled to integrate with your brand. And what truly sets us apart here is our platform's complete integration with, the major donor CRMs, its ability to easily embed onto your website, the access to our extensive marketing resources, and the availability across all 50 states. So with Life Legacy, you're having affordability meets sophistication, enabling you to more or less reinvest more into your mission and essential tasks while building up this plan giving program. So it's not just cost saving, it's value adding. If you're ready to secure more plan gifts and empower your mission, you can simply scan this QR code to start a conversation with me or our team of experts about how you can harness the power of planned giving with the Giving Suite. And as a special thank you, enter Lovelist in the notes section when you book time with us, and you'll receive a 10% off your purchase. But I've loved sharing with all of you today. I'll turn things back over to Emma to kick it over to Emily. But thanks again, and I look forward to speaking with you all.
Great. No, thank you so much, Spencer. Great to hear more about Life Legacy. And of course, you guys take advantage of these exclusive deals that all of these different startups are offering today. But okay, I will pass it over to Emily to share screen and talk a little bit more about Grapevine.
Thank you so much, Emma. And thank you all for being here. It's so exciting to be on a call with this fantastic group of friends and fellow founders, and with all of you doing wonderful work in the world. I'm Emily Rasmussen. I'm the CEO and founder of Grapevine. We're the only platform dedicated to giving circles. And just a little bit about me and Grapevine. We have now helped more than 4,600 nonprofits across the country raise $35 million. I am a former nonprofit fundraiser, so I have come to this work very much in the shoes of all of you, thinking about how we can raise more funds from more donors to support the work that we're doing. And I bring to this work as well a background in crowdfunding and microfinance, so community-based fundraising for impact. And we're also a Blackbaud social good startup, so learning a lot in that program, and happy to be in that program with some of the other founders on this call as well. So just a little bit about giving circles, because I know that a lot of people are still kind of new to this concept. The idea is very simple. It's about a group of people that come together to pool their donations and make a larger gift as a collective. Simple concept. Here's some images of some real giving circles in the world. These are all groups that are meeting in person, different sizes of groups, different types of people, members coming together, different cause areas that they're focused on, locations that they're focused on. But really, at the end of the day, it is about a group of people pooling money and making a larger collective gift. The most popular model is the one that I have outlined here in the center, just to give you one very clear case study. In this model, 100 people come together. Everyone pitches in $100. So now we have a $10,000 gift to give away as a group. Members in the group can nominate nonprofits, and ultimately they vote to decide where their funds go. That $10,000 gift then goes to that winning organization, and then they do it all again 3 months later. So this group, just donating roughly the cost of a lunch every month, is moving $40,000 per year as a collective. This is the traditional model of a giving circle. And this giving circle model is something that we did not create at Grapevine. This is a grassroots movement that goes back to the early 80s. It was women coming together who started pooling gifts to give back to local organizations. Very excited to report that there's a new research report that came out just a few weeks ago that shows that giving circles have now moved more than $3 billion to nonprofits. So definitely look up that landscape research report if you're new to this model. It's a really, really exciting time for this movement and for all of the organizations that have benefited from these funds and that are now looking to get more involved in this movement. I do just like to note that not only has this movement engaged over 370,000 people, but there are now more than 4,000 of these giving groups that we know of across the US, and it's continuing to grow globally. I also like to note that 82% of people who join these groups say that they join to connect with like-minded people. And this is where I think for all of us nonprofits, there's an opportunity to really learn from this model, how it's really resonating with people and how we can leverage this kind of model and these tools for our own fundraising. So at Grapevine, we are the only platform dedicated to the Giving Circle model, as I noted, and we provide an all-in-one solution for anyone to easily start one of these groups or to find one that they want to join. If you use the Grapevine platform to host your group, it takes just a couple of minutes to set it up. And in this community page, you have a place where your members can connect and collaborate, where you can share updates, where you can pool donations from members, and you can engage members through nominating and voting and reporting. All of these tools are built into this solution for you. As I mentioned earlier, we have now moved over $35 million and supported more than 4,500 nonprofits. We have a large and growing community. And this is an opportunity for you to not only find giving circles that might be interested in supporting your work and sharing those with your broader community of ambassadors to get involved, to get in front of, to be an advocate for you in those community spaces, but it's also an opportunity for you to think about how you can create a giving circle dedicated to your work. And this is the newest wave in this giving circle movement that we've been seeing, where nonprofits are now starting their own giving groups and essentially building their own communities of recurring donors that are more engaged and stickier than any of the traditional kind of recurring donor programs. So Grapevine provides that free all-in-one solution platform for you to start a giving circle. But we also have additional support from our experts around helping you to build the strategy, engage your community, and actually grow your group and provide training for your members or for your team. So if we can be helpful to you, please let us know. I'll share some resources in a moment. But first, here are just a few examples of nonprofits now starting giving circles on the Grapevine platform. We have large nonprofits like Mercy Corps. We have Newman's Own Foundation. We also have smaller ones like Fab Friends and Positive Planet. So if you're a nonprofit that is thinking about launching or amplifying a recurring donor program, thinking about launching or amplifying a young patrons program, or interested in any of these other things in terms of expanding your donor base to include more women and next-gen donors, or engaging your community in peer-to-peer fundraising programs, this could be a great fit for you to take any of those initiatives to the next level or start them. So if you're interested, please do reach out. We're at grapevine.org. As I mentioned, we're a free platform and there are lots of free resources and tools on the platform for you. If you want me to send you our specific nonprofit support information and toolkit, just email me, partnerships@grapevine.org. I'll put that in the chat as well, and I'll be happy to send that over. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Emma and everyone else, and I'll pass it back to you.
All right. Well, Emily, thank you so much for going in detail about Grapevine and just the great work you're doing for nonprofits everywhere. But yeah, I will go on to pass it over to Steve here to share a little bit more about Donate Stock.
Hi, is that coming through?
Yeah, it's all great.
Fantastic. Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Latham, co-founder and CEO of Donate Stock. Personal story, 15 years ago, a friend of mine told me about the benefits of stock gifting. Sounded too good to be true as a donor. And then I discovered why no one makes stock gifts. It was such a painstaking experience. Flash forward to 2020, like several people here, was successful in another industry, wanted to do something to give back along the way. And this was always the top of my list, was to make stock gifting easy. So that's really the origin of Donate Stock. About just over 4 years old now. We are really honored to be leading the movement to make stock gifting accessible and easy for all nonprofits and all donors. They were trusted by about 2,200 nonprofits and distributed by about half of the online fundraising platforms. These are all our partners, most of whom we have integrations. Why stock? It represents billions in untapped funding for nonprofits. Over 60% of US households, 100 million Americans, own stock today. It's where their wealth is concentrated. It's in their brokerage accounts, not their checking accounts or their credit cards. It's also one of the most tax-advantaged ways for donors to support your cause. If they donate stock to you, instead of selling the stock, they get to avoid the capital gains tax and they can write off the full fair market value of the gift. So it's really a win-win. You get larger pre-tax gifts. They save on taxes. It's just, like I said, why wouldn't everyone do this? Well, historically, there's two sets of problems that have made it really difficult. First of all, very few investors are aware of the benefits of donating stock. So it's still one of the best kept secrets in finance. Secondly, it's just a very painstaking experience. That was my experience 15 years ago. It's the same today. It's a lot of paperwork, it's forms. It takes hours, if not days, to initiate a gift the old-fashioned way. And it's not just paying for the donor, but for their financial advisors as well. Nonprofits have had struggles on the other side of that coin. First of all, very few nonprofits can actually get a brokerage account on a relative basis. If you're a small charity, it's hard to get a brokerage account even through the big retail brokers. So they've been largely excluded. Those that do have brokerage accounts have found a very painstaking, manually intensive, costly process that relies on people and tribal knowledge on how do you execute stock gifts. And with turnover, it can be really challenging. Even if you have people who have been doing it for a long time, it's several hours per gift if you add it all up. So it's a very costly process. made even more difficult by the fact that donor's identity does not travel with the stock. So if a lot of people are sending Apple stock to your brokerage account, you don't know whose stock is whose. That makes it really difficult to reconcile and acknowledge on a timely basis. So that's what we set out to change, to make stock gifting easy and accessible for everybody, starting with the donor experience. Our easy button for stock gifting, it's a PayPal-like experience where somebody can click on the app and execute a stock gift right there to you on your site in just minutes. It's fast, it's safe, it's free for donors. They have transparency into the process, so they know where their stock is. They're not contacting you, asking you, did you get my stock? Did you get my stock? Secondly, it's about an end-to-end platform for nonprofits. It's using software to automate manual tasks with transparency through notifications, nonprofit dashboards. For 90% of our clients, we actually process the gifts for them through the 501c3 that we created, Donate Stock Charitable. So if you don't have a brokerage, no problem. We can process the gift, reconcile it, acknowledge the donor, and send you the proceeds. Normally better, faster, more efficiently than our clients can do it themselves. That's why most, even our largest accounts, have us do that for them. And then we provide the training. This is the piece that's really important, is educating you on how to talk to your donors about stock gifting, helping your gift officers, giving them talking points, explaining the benefits of web content, email content. We have live support, which is we're highly well known for, I guess you should say. And we will take responsibility for servicing donors and troubleshooting any issues that come up when invariably some stocks gifts get messed up or delayed at the brokerage account. So we take responsibility for managing that. We've had some great successes. Our hallmark case study is World Central Kitchen, which in the first year grew stock gifting 15x. Now that's kind of we can't really promise that. It's a pretty outsized result, but we can assure you is that you can grow it dramatically from just 1% of your proceeds, which is what it typically is, up to 5 or 10% pretty quickly, just by making it easy. And we've seen that with World Central Kitchen as a client. So to sum up the benefits, it's a new way to diversify and grow fundraising. There's some other great tools in here you should definitely be availing yourself to. But stock is it's the largest held non-cash asset class, and almost pretty much all your major gift donors, most of your mid-level donors own it. So it's a great way to diversify and grow fundraising in otherwise tough climate. It's about a positive donor experience, making it easy for them to make repeat gifts, removing that friction for your team. And we have flexible pricing options from straight transaction fee to a SaaS fee, and even one in between. So with that, if you'd like to learn more, 3 options here. You can visit us at donatestock.com. You can hit our QR code right there, or email nonprofits@donatestock.com. With that, happy to turn it over to the next speaker. Thank you very much.
All right. No, thank you so much, Steve. I know Gang said this in the chat, but Donate Stock really makes so much sense, and I'm really glad that you were able to share more about your company today. So thank you. And last but not least, we have Gang. Pay attention. This is my boss. But anyway, this is Civic Champs. And so without further ado, I'll pass it to you, Gang.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining today. Really, really appreciative of everyone coming on and sticking to the end so that you can actually hear my pitch as well. So for those of you that haven't been on a Civic Champs webinar in the past, my name is Gang Wang. I'm the co-founder and CEO here. And so Civic Champs, what we do is we provide volunteer management software for nonprofits like yourselves. And so the thing that really inspired us was, in 2019, when we first got started, I was talking to a number of different nonprofits, right? And it was actually for a slightly different idea. We wanted to create like a mobile game for volunteering, totally different story. But what we heard when we talked to them was, when we recruit volunteers, right, we're using, jot forms, or maybe, I'm getting phone calls, or, when I'm trying to track hours for my volunteers, I have to rely on a paper sign-in sheet, and now I have to hand input that into an Excel spreadsheet. So really painful process for a lot of folks, right? And using lots of different tools. And we thought, man, there has to be a better way. And so, was really inspired to, provide something that supported you all. Personally, of course, right, Civic Champs is important to me. I really believe in volunteerism. One of my, colleagues that I spoke to a couple of months ago from St. Vincent de Paul said, it's volunteering feeds the soul, right? And I thought that was so beautiful and something that I also believe, right? And so in terms of what we actually do at Civic Champs, right, we provide an end-to-end solution, right, across the entire volunteer lifecycle. And so whether that's recruiting, training and onboarding, scheduling, communications, feedback collection, and reporting, right? We have a solution that sort of covers every part of that, right? And so I'm not going to go into all of it. It's a lot of stuff to go over, but I'm just going to give you a little highlight of a couple things that we do kind of uniquely, right? And in terms of the impact that we have, right, what we found is that volunteers also donate financially, right? You heard all of our, other founders talk about, here's different ways to donate. But one of the things that that we've seen is that volunteers, right? If you look at the studies, 76 to 79% of your donors also volunteer, right? When we talk to our integration partners like Little Green Light, they look at their data and it shows that their volunteers actually, the median volunteer donates twice as much as their non-volunteer, right? Huge increase, right? And so if we're able to help grow your program, we're actually able to help you generate more revenues. And so on average, our nonprofits see an increase of about $2,676 in donations, whereas the average contract is a little over $800, right? So giving you a really nice return on financial investment, in addition to saving you on average about 8 hours a week. And so how do we do this, right? And so we have, like I said, the whole suite solution. And one of the things that we have is our mobile app. And so what you're looking at is our mobile app for volunteers. It allows you to easily check in for events, right? So they tap in, it uses geofencing, and it says, hey, Catherine, are you here today for Habitat for Humanity? And you're like, yep, I sure am, right? And so it helps you track that. We also have a kiosk that people can use, right? Lots of different solutions. And then at the end of the day, we can collect feedback from your volunteers, right? This idea that, hey, maybe knowing who is happy or unhappy with their experience allows you to better retain and engage in it, right? And then last but not least, we try to make it really easy for you to have all this reporting on the back end, right? Bringing all of this data easily so that you can run reports, maybe feed it into StoryRaise, right? And say, hey, last year we had X amount of volunteer hours. Here's how much impact we've had, right? Making it very easy for you to provide these numbers for your board or your funders, right? And so that's a little bit of a quick overview on Civic Champs. If you want to get in touch, I think Chloe's going to put some of our contact information here in the chat for you all. And so that's sort of the end of my presentation. And the only thing I would just encourage folks to do is if you've enjoyed today's webinar, we have lots of upcoming webinars. The next two are going to be around navigating grant opportunities. We have Dream Alive, one of the winners of the MBA Foundation's grant recently, joining us on the 2nd. So we'll get to hear from him on how they navigated and really were able to land that grant opportunity. And then on May 16th, we're going to talk about retaining Gen Z volunteers and how to recruit them for your nonprofit. So if you're interested, please come and sign up on our webinars. Right? With that, I also wanted to thank our speakers again, my friends and fellow founders here today with Steve, Emily, Spencer, Chris, Griff, Jeff, and Sherry. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on today. Yeah, I'll turn it back to you, Emma.
Awesome. All right. Well, that is the end of our presentation. If you want to click to the next slide here, Gong, we're asking for feedback. And so Chloe is going to put this Google form in the chat. And we would just love to hear a little bit more about what is interesting for you all. We have been putting together different educational webinars for nonprofits for over 6 months now. And so we're super excited to continue that for you all as a free resource with all of our great nonprofit friends and tech friends in the space. All right, so without further ado, we'll leave a little bit of time here for questions. So Gong, if you want to continue to this next slide here, I don't know if anybody, Gong, if you see any outstanding questions in the chat, but folks, feel free to come off mute and, shout out to any of our different presenters today, and we'll be happy to answer your questions for the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, absolutely. I think most of the questions got answered during the presentation. I think there's somebody has their hand raised, and so we'll, yeah, if you want to come off mute
Yes, it's Zainab from Canada. We have an organization. Thank you so much for the upcoming, and you guys are so amazing in terms of fundraising. We are registered in Canada and in Sierra Leone, non-for-profit for agriculture, mining, everything with climate change. And right now, I have my group in Sierra Leone, Grassroots. And yeah, so how can we reach you if we wanted to put in our program for fundraising issue, and how you can help us in that?
Yeah, I think in the chat, Chloe sort of linked to all of the different companies. And so if there's one in particular that you thought might be helpful for fundraising, you can certainly reach out to, probably the best fits might be, Momentum, or if you're looking for legacy gifts, right? Obviously Life Legacy, or creating your own, giving circle, right, with Grapevine. And so it depends a little bit of what you think might work best for your organization, but that seems like that'd probably be my recommendation. And of course, if you need help with volunteers, you can reach out to us. Although we currently we're supporting just US-based 501c3.
Oh yeah, this is the thing. Yes, because you live, you live in US. And when we want to do, sometimes we want to do a conference of fundraising. Do we do it online, or we do it in person? How can we connect with you if we want to do a fundraising, like say, let's do a conference of fundraising? Do you guys can do it online? How we can bring out people for fundraising events?
I don't know if any of the solutions today focus on fundraising events per se, or to host them. I think there might be some other folks on the call that are consultants that put those things together. So that's probably my guidance is, if you're looking to put together an event, you might use a consultant to help you with that.
Oh, okay. So that's your information we can reach, because I have seen lots of links here, which your own I can. And I see Chad here. He said he lived in Kabbalah as a child in 1980s. So I don't know how I can get, we are connect. Our organization is a connection, is a cultural exchange. Sometimes we do in Sierra Leone, sometimes we do it in Canada. But as you said, you live in America. We have lots of Sierra Leoneans in America, but we register here. So that's my concern now. If we reach out to you, and what's your service towards our needs?
Yeah, and Zainab, to your question, like the services that these different orgs can provide, I will email you. My team will directly email you this. Yes. My team will directly email you this conversation and all of the links and buttons very clearly stated on how to get in contact with all of the founders today.
Perfect, Emma. Thank you so much. I look forward to the email.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. Of course. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, any other questions? Otherwise, we can sort of wrap it up here. And, let me see if I don't think I see anything. So thank you again, everyone, for coming on today. We loved having you. And thank you again to all our guest speakers for sharing your story and your services. Really appreciate it.
A big thanks to Gung and the team at Civic Champs, too. Thanks for putting this on. You guys did all the heavy lifting here. Thank you.
Yeah, big
of
thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Of course.
Thank
All right,
you.
take care, folks. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.